A powerful woman is a heat-resistant and storm-bracing caliber. There is nothing she cannot handle. That's in the word of Gift Gugu Mona. Good morning to all powerful ladies and women. Not forgetting our daddies who always care about us on this program. Somebody said that it's men that listen more to Feminine Scoop. And I said, well, it's okay. So why are we not having the male version of Feminine Scoop? I said, you have now. Why do we have Macho Line? Macho Line is there for men now. Why are they always talking about us? Anyway, we are the salt of the nation. That's the woman for you. We always know how we influence and how we affect you. Thank you for always being there for us. I welcome you to this edition of Feminine Scope on OGBC 90.5 FM. And I hope your weekend is rolling over there. Keep enjoying. We have just one life, but then we have to do it in moderation. One life, enjoy it. My name is Toyin Sogbesan. You call me TS. And this program is to invite ladies and women who are on top of their careers so that this generation, hey, from Sorosoke, we are now no grief for anybody. Okay, so it's for this no grief for anybody generation. Today will not be different as I have a strong lady in the house. I believe she belongs to the no grief for anybody generation. Am I right? Yes, you belong.
I'm just neutral. Actually.
You're just neutral. Okay. Or you belong to the Sorosoke generation.
I'm in between.
Yeah, in between. It's okay. It's okay. She's ready to share experiences with us as a woman. So her name is Mrs. Ibunkunoluwa Temitope Adeyanju. She's a registered nurse. Oh, she's a humanitarian and an entrepreneur. It's nice to have you on this program today.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Yes,
I like your smiling face. You're ever smiling.
Thank you,
ever smiling.
Thank you.
That's nice. So let's start from the beginning, straight to business. Who is Temitope Ibunkunoluwa Adeyanju? What was growing up like for you?
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Ibunkunoluwa Temitope is a young girl, young lady, still growing, and it's a privilege to be here today. I was born into the family of Mr. and Mrs. Ogunshola in the year 1989. My dad passed on in year 2008. That was yeah. We were not born with silver spoon in our mouths, but to the glory of God, we were able to, navigate all the challenging phase in our lives. That's why the fact that my dad passed on while we were still young, and we are still growing. I believe that.
What number are you?
I'm the first girl in the
first
family.
Girl.
First girl.
I see.
I have two elder brothers, though one of them is late.
Oh, no.
So I'm the first girl out of five children. Yeah.
Okay. How many girls are you?
Three. We are three.
Three. So the first two are boys, and the last three
we are
girls.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay.
I started my primary and nursery education at Total Child Nursery and Primary School between year 1994 to 2000, and then my secondary education, the popularly known school, Abeokuta Girls Grammar School.
AGGS.
Yes, AGGS.
Azoga.
It's from year 2000 to 2006, and then afterwards I proceeded into my nursing education, which I've always wanted to be. As a young girl growing up, I've always liked seeing the white uniform on nurses. I'll be like, I just want to wear this uniform. One day I want to be like you. And I've had the passion. That's the fact that I had challenges getting admission into School of Nursing and even with my JAM examination. But I still persevered, and I was able to get admission at the long run in the year 2010.
When did you leave secondary school?
I left in 2006.
So you stayed 4 years.
Yes.
In those 4 years, what were you doing?
I was basically writing exams.
For 4 years?
Yes. And my dad insisted that I just have to have a WAEC result.
What happened to your WAEC?
The first one I had in school didn't end well. The results, I don't know what happened.
Were you a science student?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I was. So it was persistent. He said I just have to, have a WAEC result, not NECO, not the other one.
Okay.
And it was just so certain that you have to make WAEC, you have to have your result. So between those years, I was just writing exams.
You were not doing any job? You were not working?
No.
You were not collecting salary?
It did not allow
It didn't.
us.
For 4 years?
Yes, it was certain that if I was getting money, I would be distracted, from my education. So he kept on encouraging us, encouraging me.
Did you enroll in another school?
Yes, I did.
Which
at
school?
A point, it's at E4.
E4, okay.
Yes. I was able to write exam in 2007. So between 2007 and 2008, I aced the exam and I got the result. So in between that time too, I was writing School of Nursing examinations. I was unable to get into the school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was what happened between those periods.
And you didn't consider other options?
No.
You just wanted that nursing?
Yes, I wanted nursing. Between that time, like I said, my dad passed on in 2008. So you can see that it was between that period. So I had people coming, family, friends saying, why not change your line of thought? Why not change your ambition? And I said, no, this is what I really wanted. And even after my dad passed, I remember that I had a dream. He was telling me in the dream that, so whatever you set your mind to do, that's what you are going to do. So I was just particular that I wanted to go for nursing.
And what was the place of your mom all the while?
My mom was just open because she wanted the best for us. Because I remember on my father's dying bed, my dad was telling her that, get these children to the best place that they can. So she was supportive.
Okay, your dad was ill and he knew he was passing.
Yeah, more or less.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just a brief illness and then he passed on.
Since
then, even up till now, she's been very, very supportive.
Yes. Thank God for that. Let's see the lessons you learned in you staying 4 years after your school cert. What lesson did you learn?
Perseverance. And I've been able to learn that if I set my mind into something, and then I'll be able to achieve it. So
you didn't consider you having a vocation?
No, at that point in time, no. No,
it didn't cross your mind.
It didn't cross my mind.
Because you could have maybe done little training in catering, in store makeup, in stuff like that.
The only thing that my father allowed then was for us to go for all this computer training. Then, it was very, very popular as that then. So, because he felt that it was still in line with, education and all that. So, that was the only thing I was allowed to do. My father didn't want any distraction for us. He didn't want us to say, or maybe, we are being distracted by money and all that. He didn't want that for us.
Today, do you, as a person, see it like that?
No, absolutely not. One of the things I've been able to learn so far so good, especially for my mom and the kind of life that we led then, was that as a lady, as a girl, as a woman growing up, you must have a trade. The things that I learned from my mom, if not that God was on her side and, all that, would have been stranded at one point or the other. So I believe that as a woman, if you have something doing, even if your husband is not really supporting, I'm just saying, of course, as a man,
even if he's supporting,
yes, as a man, it's expected of you to, support your wife and all that, assist your family. But even if the man is not supporting, as a woman, you should have something doing. An idle hand
is a devil's workshop.
In fact, any young lady around me that I'm opportune to meet, I keep telling them, do something. Don't wait for any man or any guy to say, I will do this for you. To learn something. In my own course of, the years, despite the fact that I did not learn gift wrapping and all that, I was able to do this on my own. And it has helped me to have a trade of my own. I have a business in gift wrapping and other things that I can do. That's the fact that I was
for weddings.
Yes, gift wrapping for surprises, for weddings, gift, box making and all that. So I've been able to, generate funds for myself. And despite the fact that my father was saying, oh, you're not going to do business, you're not going to learn a trade and all that. After his passing, all those things that he was not going to allow us to do, I had to just do it on my own. That's the fact that I did not tell my mom. I remember the first or second episode that I had to travel to Cotonou to buy some goods. I started with buying slippers when I got to School of Nursing my first year. I did not tell my mom because I know that my mom would be so scared. She would be saying, no, don't travel, don't go. I know that this woman needed help and she needed, sort of us. I can't always run home to tell her that, mommy, I need this, I need that. So I just had to go out of my way to do these things by myself. And I remember that the third trip that I was about going was the one I told her. And she was like, ti lọ lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. Dágbére. I said, if I had told you, you wouldn't have allowed me to go. So I believe that as young women, we just have to do something with our hands.
Wow, that's great. So you're a registered nurse. You are humanitarian. What does humanitarian? What does that mean?
Well, as a young
you
girl,
work with United Nations?
Well, I volunteer
okay,
as
volunteer.
a Red Cross member,
okay,
Nigerian Red Cross Society, which I started from my secondary school, and these are the things that my dad actually supported. And it has really, really helped me even in my nursing journey. As a Red Cross member, I've been able to, have different experiences over the years that has shaped me even while I got into School of Nursing, which, accidents, things, all those things were not new to me anymore.
So. I see. So because I understand you being a registered nurse, that humanitarian aspect, and I've seen the entrepreneurship skill in you, which is towards gift wrapping and surprises, surprise packages. I spoke with a nurse last week, I think, and a lot was revealed. We're talking about the older generation versus the younger generation of nurses. You understand? You're a nurse. From her looks and yours, you belong to the younger generation than her, who is already a director. So your generation, nurses, what motivates you?
Okay, let me start from when I had passion to start, going to School of Nursing. I remember that I just wanted to be in that uniform because I like the fact that
it was just the uniform.
Yes, it was just the uniform for me, and I knew that they rendered help to people, helpless people, and all that. That was the intention. It was when I got to School of Nursing I realized that they said you can travel out, you can have this, you can. With time, I got to know that nursing has a lot of other things that you can actually benefit apart from, of course, the money and all that. So for the younger generation, I wouldn't say I am part of them in a way because I have some reservation, but something I've seen over the years that
you have reservation.
Yes, wow. Most of our younger generation nurses are after the money. That's the truth. That's the truth.
What's in it for me?
Yes. What is it? Exactly? That's it. Yeah, it's good for us to explore the outer shore of Nigeria, to do all this and all that. Somebody like me to still be here, I have some reasons why I'm still here and all that. But I feel that
you would have Japa.
I feel that most of these younger generation nurses are actually after the money. That's the truth. That's the truth. And some of us have actually derailed a little bit away from what nursing profession is about, what the nursing ethics is all about. And it's just a very few of us, a very fraction, of the younger generation nurses that are still,
that have passion.
Yes, that are still doing nursing with their whole hearts. That still have that passion, that still have that compassion, that empathy for their patients.
I see. What's your own area of nursing?
Oh, okay. Actually, after I left School of Nursing, I worked for a while, and then I went to National School of Basic Nursing Services, that's National Orthopedic Hospital, Igbobi, Lagos, which I studied accidents and emergency nursing. Yeah, so that's my area of specialty. But presently, I work as a fertility nurse, and I've been doing that for over 6 years.
You work as a beautiful. I love that aspect. As a fertility nurse.
Yes.
What does that entail? Because of women, a lot of homes are broken because the woman cannot conceive. And typical of Africa, we're Africans.
Yes.
It's usually the woman that is at fault. So you are a fertility nurse.
Yes, I am.
Expose.
Okay, thank you very much. As a fertility nurse, we have a couple of things that we do. Of course, as a general nurse, you serve as an advocate for your client, for your patient. You serve as their counselor. But when it has to do with fertility, you are all encompassing because you just have to talk to them, talk to their husband. But of course, their family members are not involved because it's just between the husband and
the wife.
It's a decision between the husband and the wife to have a baby. And it's just so unfortunate for we, the women folk, in this our area, let's say Nigeria now, because it's believed that anything that is wrong in the family starts from the wife, especially when it has to do with conceiving. So most tags are on the women that she's the one that is not getting pregnant, not knowing that it's possible that it's actually from the man. Maybe he has low sperm count, he has azoospermia, he has all those things. And those things are not really pronounced on the angle of men. So it's always projected to the women. So that's not really helping the women generation. And why we are out here now is actually to propagate, to let people know that the woman alone is not just the one that can help the family to achieve conception. The man too is the main factor. If the man is not producing enough or adequate sperm, good sperm, let me put it like that, then the woman cannot get pregnant. So when a family is having issues of infertility after 1 year of unprotected sexual intercourse, then they start asking questions. Oh, what is happening? What is happening in your home? You know, family and friends. Nowadays, they don't wait for 1 year. I remember when I got married, it wasn't up to 1 year people started asking us questions that what's going on, not knowing that it was our personal decision that we are not ready to start having babies and all that.
You wanted honeymoon for 1 year.
But because of the Yoruba parents that we have, everybody started asking questions. What is wrong with your husband? That phase is a very tedious phase, especially for people that are actually trying to conceive but are not getting pregnant. Though they say the fact that the family and friends are concerned, but there should be a level of pressure that you apply on this couple because you don't know what they've been through. Some of them, even before they get married, they've been trying to get pregnant. Do you understand? Yeah. So if they've been trying to conceive before they got married, let's say a period of 6 months before they got married, and then after they got married another 1 year, then if a family member or a friend is coming to say wo all along, this is that, number one is the woman that will start crying. That say, hey, they are looking down on me. Or if she's going on the street, moving on the street, somebody is looking at her strange, she'll say it's because she's not pregnant. They are looking at my tummy. You know, we have a very sensitive way of thinking. Even when men are not thinking, women, we have thought about igba. Let me use that word. We've thought about so many things. We have so many. You say, if somebody just look at you personally, you just say, she's looking at my tummy, or she's looking at me if I'm pregnant or not. You know, so the pressure is so much on the women folk. If we are able to preach that men too should also get tested, then it will go a long way.
Sorry, I'm so interested in this topic particularly. Okay. What could be some of the factors responsible for infertility?
We have quite a number of factors.
The common ones.
Yeah. For women, we have blocked fallopian tubes. If the fallopian tubes that helps to convey the sperm to the ovary that is going to fertilize the egg, where the egg is going to be fertilized, if either of the fallopian tubes are maybe 1 or 2, then it can be challenging for them to get pregnant. If the woman too is unable to calculate her ovulation period in a month, or maybe she's not even menstruating, she's not cycling anymore, then it will be challenging for her to get pregnant. Then on the part of the man, if there is low sperm count, if the sperm count is totally or no sperm count at all, you know, there's a difference between
low and
no. Yeah, we have terms for it, but I don't just want to be so that our listeners can understand.
Don't make it technical.
Yes, so there is difference between the two. If there is low sperm count or there is no sperm count, then definitely there's no way such man can get the woman pregnant. And then we start asking questions, what is going on?
So what do you advise such couples to do?
Well, before we can consider a couple that are infertile, we have to say that they must have had sex, unprotected sexual intercourse in their marriage for 1 year. So after 1 year, if they've been trying, then they can go to the hospital, get tested, tell the doctor, preferably a gynecologist, that these are the challenges, these are the things that we have done and all that, and they will be advised accordingly on things to do. We have several parts to this treatment.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. My guest on this program today, Feminine Scope, is Mrs. Ibunkunoluwa Temitope Adeyanju, a registered nurse, a humanitarian, and an entrepreneur. Let's talk about your own family. Okay. Who is the man? How did you meet your husband?
Okay.
You just told me that people were already looking at you after a year.
Yeah.
Hey, for the man that was looking at you for a year. Okay. Who is he?
Okay, so my husband's name is Victor Toyin Adeyanju, and we actually grew up together, not knowing that we're going to end up being together.
Yeah.
I remember then, while I was still in school, in secondary school actually, we were friends. He was a friend to my very good friend, my childhood friend, and I was always going to their house, my friend's house, not knowing that he had started talking to my friend even after secondary school. He likes Ibunkunoluwa, and my friend never mentioned it. Okay. Never mentioned it. But it was in the year 2017. I remember I started working in one of the private hospitals in Abeokuta here. I went for a program in one of the schools. He happened to work there. We just met. And it was like, this is we exchanged numbers, and then he came to my place of work. He was telling me affirmatively that he was going to get married to me. I said, how come? I said, is it that you woke up overnight and then you saw me in your dreams or what? And I said, I should ask my friend that he's been telling her for years. Immediately he left my place of work. I picked my phone and then I called my friend that, Arabiri, why didn't you mention it to me that this person has been? She said, no. There was no way she could have mentioned it to me because she felt that it was not serious and all that. So we courted for 6 months and then we got married.
You got married?
Yes.
For 6 months and you
Yes.
got married. So when did you start having the babies?
After we got married, we waited for some years.
Out of choice?
Yes,
you even said some years. I was even thinking it's just 1 year.
Out of choice. It was our personal decision, actually.
For many years?
Even before we had our first child, our parents were like, I know this is, but my husband had to give in because the pressure was just becoming too much. Because of course, as a young family, we have our plans. My husband is somebody that once makes up his mind, then I don't know who is going to change his mind. And of course, it's our personal decision. So we had our first child in 2020, like close to 2 years after our marriage, and our family is still growing.
Okay, we thank God. So the door now opened and more babies to come. To the glory of God.
Yes,
thank you.
ma'am.
Do you have time to party?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. I have a lot
Are
of
you a
things.
church person?
Yes, I am.
Could it be because of church or because of your job?
Not really.
You are still
my
young.
My job. I would say my job because my job is actually time consuming. I work 8 to 5.
8 to 5.
Yes,
as
and
a fertility nurse.
yes, and my work alternate weekends. So, and I really do not have time for parties. I would love to party though, but I don't have the time. And even when I'm at home, I receive calls from my clients. The time that I'm supposed to have for myself. Because, this our job, this my line of work is a very sensitive one. When a client put a call through to you and then you are not picking, they'll be like, they have this sense of, so you just have to be at their call and beckon, people calling to make inquiries, people calling to tell you that, I'm experiencing this during this phase of my treatment and all that. So that's why I've not.
Thank God. Are you enjoying your job?
By the grace of God, yes, I am. It comes with its ups and downs, but we are doing great.
You are doing well. You have any intention of jackpying? You see the way I asked that question.
It's in the works.
Okay, that's really nice. What would be your advice for your generation? Don't let me say this present year, because you also belong to this generation. Yeah. So what's your advice for your generation?
I'm going to focus my advice more on women, because I believe that men, they have the mind of their own. It's not that women don't have mind of our own too, but men are kind of, I don't know how God has structured them, as of course the men, as we popularly know, we have fragile hearts and all that. I believe that as a woman, before you can attain any stage in life, pray first and then set your mind to whatever it is that you want to achieve. And then, of course, sky is big enough for everybody to fly.
Okay, since you don't party, you must love music, or you don't like music?
Absolutely, too? I love
music. So what type of music do you listen to?
Well, I'm very, very selective when it has to do with music. I listen to Tope Alabi. I listen to Shola because I love soul lifting music.
Okay.
Yeah. So I listen to Shola Alinsin a lot. Natalia Bassi and all that. And of course, I still listen to some other stuff.
You don't listen to Mobad, Malia?
I'm very selective when it comes to, especially because of what they utter in their music.
The lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics. So I'm very selective, Even if you look at my playlists, you'll see that I have spec. I have spec.
So what type of music would you want for the program?
Maybe any Shola Alison.
Shola Alison.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to sing any of Shola Alison's pieces?
No, I'll pass.
Because me, I'm old school. If you were to ask me for KSA, King Sunny Idea Obi, I would know.
Yes, my dad used to love that. My dad, my mom, of course.
You're not putting me in that generation.
I think you're in the generation of my parents. So.
I'm in the generation of my parents. I don't have a 40-year-old daughter. It's okay.
Nítorí ọ̀la ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí, ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí, ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí, ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí, orí ló mọ́ lọ́la bọ́dọ̀la, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe ìkẹlẹ́ nítorí ọ̀la ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí. Orí afẹ́ lòmíràn pamọ́ káyé má bàa fi pamọ́, màjèsí àtìlẹ̀ jìyà díẹ̀. Nítorí ọ̀la ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí. Àkúnlẹ̀ yan làdáyé bàdélé ayé tán ojú ń roni. Ṣé kẹ́lẹ́ kó má ṣìwà wù nítorí ọ̀rọ̀ ọjọ́ máa gbọ́. Tẹ́tí rẹ̀ bẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́ gbọ́ mi yé. Iṣẹ́ adé ẹ̀dá kò sẹ́ni tó yé. Bó ní ti rí ọ̀la ò lè rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Èyí mo mọ̀ ó dá mi lójú. Ṣìkẹ̀lẹ̀ ò nítorí ọ̀la ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí, ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí, ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí, ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí, orí ló mọ́ lọ́la bọ́dọ̀la, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣìkẹ̀lẹ̀ nítorí ọ̀la ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ forí.
So nice having you.
Thank
on
you
the
very
program.
much for the
Thank
time,
you so much.
Yes.
So that's it on today's edition of Feminine Scope on OGBC 90.5 FM. Again, let me thank my guest this morning, Mrs. Ibunkunoluwa Temitope Adeyanju, a registered nurse, humanitarian, and an entrepreneur. I also thank my producer, Temilade Tijani, assisted by Fumilayo Akitoye. My studio manager is Adetope Adebon, and my name is Toyin Sogbesan. Do enjoy your weekend and a beautiful morning.